You know, I don't really want to get into a blame game for it because it's kind of a mixture of stuff that goes on up there and Mother Nature. You know, she doesn't usually throw that much water at you at once. We had a drought a month ago that dried everything up, and then we go and dump thousands of tonnes of water on top of it and everything just slid away. This time round, I don't know. I don't think so. The guy from the forestry I was talking to, you know, we were kind of a little bit measured with the words that we used. You know, he did have a point. There's a lot of native growth over there that slipped away as well, and the forest lost a hillside as well. The one thing I'd have noticed is that there is a lot of cut wood in this, so I don't know whether it actually came from a pre-cut skid site or something like that. In this situation, I don't think there was really anything that they could have done. The whole hillside went.
Yeah, we've had contact with the forestry company. At first they were a bit reluctant, but then when they came out they realised that the carnage was catastrophic and they had a very huge responsibility with it. It's not rocket science. When your land is littered with logs of the pine plantation, then it's obviously derived from their activities. It was frightening. We were watching from up above and we couldn't believe our eyes of what was coming down. It was all logging carnage debris, basically waste from forestry. And where I'm standing now is already 2 meters higher than the stream bed was on Tuesday. The soil geology is totally inappropriate for forestry. It's separation point granite. It's hugely unstable. It should never have been planted in pines before. It's been planted, this is the second generation. They're planning to do a third generation. You can't justify it when it destroys the lives of everyone downstream. Yeah, everything. I mean, we're going to lose our winter grazing for our stock here because the pasture is covered in logs and debris, and because the roads have been blocked, we've had to drive through it. The place is trashed from end to end. It's just trashed. There were still slips on the native side, granted, but the carnage from those slips is minimal compared to the carnage from this. Quite honestly, the forestry companies are culpable because their practices are shonky. We've had explorers going up to see what's behind us, and we've seen massive areas with logging debris dumped right in the gullies, completely illegal. Massive debris pushed right to the edge of precipitous cliffs, totally illegal. Cracks forming in those cliffs, that's why we know there's more coming.
About 3 o'clock we'd had about 80 mil of rain, and then by about 5 o'clock we'd had 260 to 270 mil of rain. It was pretty epic.
It was 50 metres that way, and it just got picked up by a wall of water and pushed to where it is now. I actually haven't checked it out to see if it's still, I think it's rooted myself, but we'll see. Further up, as in most sort of valleys in New Zealand, there's been logging operations at various times, and it's just old slash and yeah, just slash really. Yeah, I know Sandy Bay, Marahau, Riwaka Valley, and it's all, I'm not saying, you know, logging operations have got something to do with it, but it's not, you know, I don't, we can wholly and solely blame them, but it contributes majorly.
You think the slash and the logs, like, I haven't seen much native among it, has contributed to the damage people have suffered?
Oh, without doubt, you know. It was built up under our bridge and forcing the water through the buildings. Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, it's a daunting task. You know, we'll be cleaning up for years and we'll never get it back to how it was. And